Do you feel like your mind is a crowded, noisy room that you cannot escape? Are you constantly battling a deep, irrational anxiety and a heavy sense of overwhelm? This isn't just stress. This is a message from the planets that govern your mind and intelligence. They are called Moon and the Mercury, and also Rahu. Today, we're giving you the blueprint to understand the astrological stress axis that causes this anxiety. So we have a lot of ground to cover today. So here's a plan for today's deep dive. First, we'll analyze the planetary culprits and exactly what a weak planet means in Vedic astrology. Second, we will dive into the dasha trigger, the schedule that tells you when your anxiety will peak. And finally, the most important part, I'll give you a dedicated section on the concrete astrological solutions, also known as upaya, for peace that you can start today. So let's jump right in and uncover the roots of your mental pressure. So first of all, let's analyze the planetary culprits and the weakness. To understand anxiety, we must look at the three primary architects of your mind, which are the Moon, Mercury, and Rahu. Moon is also known as Chandra in Vedic astrology. It's the emotional core. It's the foundation of emotional stability. A weak moon leads to constant worry, vulnerability, and an inability to process emotions safely. Mercury is known as your nervous system and logic. This planet processes information. An afflicted Mercury can lead to analysis paralysis, obsessive thinking, and a nervous system that constantly fires. Rahu is the obsession trigger. It rules illusion, fear, and insatiable desire. When Rahu influences the mind, it hijacks Mercury, creating mental noise, future-based anxiety, and a feeling that nothing is ever enough. The anxiety you feel is a collision of Rahu's boundless desire, overwhelming the moon's ability to nurture and the Mercury's ability to logically process. So, what exactly would make a planet weak? What are the affliction triggers? Okay, where is Rahu sitting in terms of Mercury, or is Mercury afflicted by other planets? So understanding why your planet is weak is the first step to healing. When I say a planet is afflicted, I mean its ability to deliver the peace that is promised. So here are the common ways that a planet can be afflicted. First is combustion, also known as being ast. A planet that's too close to the sun, they lose their independent power. A combust Mercury will struggle to articulate, leading to internal pressure and suppressed anxiety. Affliction by malefics, the cruel influence of nasargic malefics, such as Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Ketu, will also cause that. For instance, Saturn's aspect on the moon can bring depression and fear of the future, while Mars' aspect on Mercury can bring aggressive thoughts and a reactive nervous system. Third is Pap Kartari Yoga. This is a difficult configuration where your sensitive planet, such as Moon or Mercury, they're sandwiched between the two malefics. This relentless squeeze creates chronic, severe anxiety and a persistent feeling of being trapped. Also, sometimes a planet that is naturally gentle, like Jupiter, it can become a functional malefic for your specific rising sign, for example, for Libra. Its influence can bring anxiety related to its specific domain, like anxiety over money or purpose, especially during its dasha period. For example, if your moon is in the 12th house, it's the house of loss and isolation, and in Papkartari Yoga, sandwiched between two malefics, the underlying feeling of loneliness and anxiety is constant, fueling your current overwhelm. Let me give you another example. If your moon is in the 8th house, you will constantly see yourself overthinking internally. You're usually not able to get the rage out or even your thoughts out. It's eating you inside. That's an 8th house moon. Now let's talk about the dasha trigger. When does your anxiety peak? So anxiety often comes in predictable astrological waves. It's a schedule. The dasha system reveals the exact timing of the planetary program that triggers your mental stress. Mahadasha or Antardasha of the afflicted planets, these are the primary periods of the weak moon, afflicted Mercury, or Rahu. They're the guaranteed times of increased mental pressure. The Mahadasha sets the long-term environment, and the Antardasha sharpens the focus, the Bhukti period. So for instance, during a Rahu Mahadasha, which usually lasts 18 years, and a Mercury Antardasha, Rahu amplifies Mercury's weaknesses, making the mind obsessive and overwhelmed by illusionary fears. Pratyantardasha of a malefic is even a shorter period of time of that malefic. And even those few months can actually acutely trigger, in fact, your natal weak points, resulting in sudden, unexplained panic attacks. So what is the solution to all this, you may ask? Well, the dasha is not a curse. It's a diagnostic tool. Knowing when your mental stress is scheduled to peak allows you to preemptively apply your spiritual defense for the duration of that period. You know it's going to last until that time, and then it's going to be gone. Now, the most important part, the astrological solution, the upay that I was telling you for peace. So to resolve this anxiety, you must address the 3 planetary culprits directly. We talked about Moon, Mercury, and Rahu. So this is your dedicated guide on how to fix these planetary weaknesses. Let's talk about strengthening the Moon, which is your emotional stability. The Moon requires nurturing and stillness. Some of the rituals you might want to follow are commit to a bedtime routine. It makes your 4th house and Moon happy. And practice water therapy, drinking water mindfully, sitting by still water. Also chant. You can chant Om Namah Shivaya if you'd like. It aligns you with the energy of Shiva, who wears moon on his head. And also, my best advice is service to the mother or elderly women, which directly supports the moon's nurturing energy. Now let's talk about purifying Mercury. Mercury requires clarity and non-aggression. Practice mindful, slow communication. Before speaking, maybe wait 3 seconds. This calms your overfiring nervous system. You can do a dedicated writing, journaling emotions, structuring your thoughts. You can do daily to-do lists, writing poetry. You can engage in logical thinking. Let's talk about controlling your Rahu. Rahu thrives on chaos and future fear. You can commit to radical honesty and structure. Rahu cannot function well in an environment of fixed routine. Service, or in other words, helping other people, donate to people suffering from mystery diseases or helping the marginalized. This channels Rahu's unconventional energy constructively also. So you can see service is a big one. So what does all this mean? Your anxiety is not a fault. It is a profound message from your chart, revealing where your consciousness is scattered. You are being asked to evolve your relationship with your mind, moving from frantic chaos to disciplined peace. This anxiety is a part of your soul contract. Your soul agreed to this specific karmic challenge, the challenge of mental noise, to force you to discover the stillness and emotional self-mastery. By strengthening your moon and purifying your Mercury, you are settling a deep karmic debt of mental attachment and fulfilling the highest terms of your contract. This victory grants you not just temporary relief, but a permanent spiritual sovereignty over your own thoughts. You're transforming a scattered mind into a focused instrument of divine will, which is the ultimate goal of your soul journey. Now, before we go, let's look at those assignments that I always talk about. First, I want to know, tell me in the comments, Which of the three planetary remedies, Moon, Mercury, or Rahu, will you commit to starting today? And how will you incorporate 10 minutes of structured silence into your routine this week? Figure out a time and do it. Second, let's talk about seva or service. Seva also means channeling your difficult energy into doing a good deed of the day. Go out there, help someone, and watch that worried, restless energy transform into peaceful karmic credit. If you'd like to connect with us, you can schedule a consultation via the link in the About section. We'd be happy to deep dive into your chart. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and press the bell icon, and share this video with someone who can use it. That can also be one of your good deeds of the day. Remember, when you share knowledge, your chart improves too. Knowledge is meant to be shared, and that's what I'm doing for you. So, thank you for watching, and thank yourself for watching. See you next time.